What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, and the overall markets. I'm going to give you guys an update on the data that's coming out, talk about some very important levels to watch for. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. Not to mention 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, for the markets, I just want to mention that we got this big dump on SPY yesterday. Now we're just trying to hold this support. We have a support at 548, which is where SPY has been landing towards. And then we also have support at 550. We're starting to see some buyers defending that. But the question is, will we lose this or not? That's going to depend on some very important data coming out for today. At 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes after the market ends up opening, we have the JOLTS job openings and job quits report. This is going to be very important, so get ready for this, especially because of the fact that there are many recessionary fears that are still looming. So we'll be watching to see what the jobs report looks like. Now, please remember, guys, that the data is not always going to lead to a logical reaction. And what I mean is, even if we have good data, the market could still dump. If we have bad data, the market could still pump. The market could be all over the place, especially because of manipulation and many different factors that affect the way equities are moving. So the best thing to do is to be patient, be very patient, wait for the data to come out and look at what the reaction is. Will we get a bullish reaction? Will we get a bearish one? We just have to wait and see. Now, when there was news that came out about how Nvidia got a DOJ investigation for antitrust law violations, and that may still affect Nvidia. This is what fueled the sell-off, and this is what was used to kind of like dump semiconductors. That's what led the market down. So we'll see how this affects Nvidia and the semiconductors. The market has been dipping since. And for news about earnings, I just want to mention that Dick's Sporting Goods did relatively well. They beat expectations on EPS and revenue, and they had good guidance. So that's what's making up the news for now. But for the time being, let's focus. excuse me, guys. Sorry. Let's focus on some key levels. So as far as SPY goes, okay, if we get a positive reaction to the JOLTS reports, if the jobs numbers that come out at 10 a.m. are positive, and we get a good reaction, we got to hold 550. If that holds, look for 553, then even 555 could be coming. But even if we hit 555, that does not mean we're bullish. We could still reject off that and start dipping lower. If we're bearish, however, and let's just say we get a bearish reaction, look at 548. If we don't hold that, we could be sinking all the way down to 546, then 543. There's going to be your two main supports. So watch and see. Will we see a reaction like this? Will we end up kind of pumping back up to 555? And we'll see if we reject off this or not to continue lower. Or will we just straight up collapse and just fail from here after the jobs data comes down, just start dumping back down to 543. This depends on the data and what kind of reaction we get. So you'll be watching these levels for confirmation. So watch and see, do we hold 515, try to rebound? Do we see a rejection? That's going to be critical for how we end up moving. For ES, the same thing essentially. We'll be watching to see if we get a rebound for 55.50. If we get above that, we're looking for 55.80, which is bullish for SPY. If we lose 5,500 flat, we're looking for this imbalance to fill towards the 54.80s, if not lower. So I think we're going to be watching to see which way we go. It is possible we rebound a little bit. We try to get back up to these EMAs before we try to continue lower. So we'll see if that ends up being the case or not. For Nvidia, it's the same thing. On Nvidia, I'm basically going to be looking at this resistance right over here. Just to show you guys, right over here, we're going to be looking at this 110 area as our resistance, and also minor resistance at this 108 area. And then we have this main support over here around this, let me just double check this, 104 area. If that fails us, we're looking for this imbalance to fill all the way down towards 100 flat. So if Nvidia is bearish, look for 104 to break, taking us down to 100, if not below that. If we're bullish, you want to see us break past 108. If that breaks, we're looking for 110, eventually the 112s and 114s. Nvidia is kind of in the middle right now, so we have to give it some time to see what the JOLTS job report reaction is. So we'll see. Nonetheless, the chart is still bearish. So we'll see if we establish a lower high and continue lower, or if we just dump from here. But we'll see just to be safe. For Bitcoin, we have a head and shoulders like structure, looking a little bit more bearish right now. We need to get back above 57.8877 to turn back up. Otherwise, we could just pop and drop or just continue lower. We still look more bearish on Bitcoin though. For Tesla is once again in a very, very critical place. We have this resistance to watch for around uh, this 210 area and also at 212. That's where the EMAs happen to be. If we're bullish, I think we go up to 212. And we'll see if this breaks or not. If we do break this, our next target is 215. If we're bearish, we need to lose 208 to dump for 205, then eventually 202. So we'll see what the reaction is. It is possible we do rebound a bit before we start dropping lower. So we'll see. I think it's possible we try to rebound, but it depends on the data and the reaction. For the QQQ, we look a little bit more bearish right now. We're actually dipping, but we're going to be looking at this 460 area and also at 458. If we hold 458, I think we could rebound to 460. If that breaks, we're going up a little higher towards 465. And then we could reject off that and start dipping lower. If we lose 458, I expect us to dump to about 453. So we'll see which way we dump or pump just to be safe for confirmation. For Aapl, we have basically 223.8 as resistance, and we have support at 218. We'll see which way we break. Will we rebound first before we continue lower? Will we just dump from here? It depends on the reaction. For the IWM Russell 2000, it's the same thing. We're barely holding 212. If we lose 212, we're going down to 208. If we hold this, we could rebound for 214. So we'll see which way we go. But I just want to warn everyone to be very careful with these levels. We're barely holding support, so we'll see if we rebound first before we continue lower. It depends a lot on the data, but I do think we're going to be dipping to 208 eventually on this. Coinbase is still looking bearish. We're barely at support right now. If we rebound, you want to get back up of 172. If we don't do so, we're going to be dipping down to this wick right here to the low 160s. Amazon's range bound. If we don't hold 175, we're looking for a dump all the way down towards 172, if not 170. If we're bullish, you want to break past 178. We are looking a little bit more bearish here, so we'll see what the reactions to the JOLTS job numbers. Meta is looking a little bit more bearish. If we lose 506, look for a dump for 499. If we're bullish, you want to break past 516. We look a little bit more bearish, so we'll see if we lose support. Microsoft's, we're barely holding the support right here. If we hold 405, we could rebound for 412. If not, we could be dumping for 398. And then for Google, we are still barely holding support 156. If we bounce off 156, we're looking for 161. If we lose 156, we start dumping. So we'll see what the reaction is. So with that being said, guys, make sure you guys watch the JOLTS job reports. We'll see what they give us. So be very, very patient with this and expect some high volatility. But with that being said, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys so much for listening. I think you guys are incredible. Get ready for some crazy manipulation that's coming. And always remember to be very patient, be very calm through this, manage risks very well, and set your stops and be very, very mindful of the fact that the market is very tricky right now. So be ready, guys. Do what you have to do, and I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. Thank you for listening, and peace out.